Hi there, Myathe again. As you can see, I've got most of my settings turned down, and I wanted to go over some Mage abilities and talents. The first thing I noticed though is the spellbook. It still has the 3 tabs, but the 2 that are different from your spec are grayed out, which is kind of interesting. Also, instead of organizing your spells by their class like that, they're all spread out over 6 or so pages. And those are just a few of the spells available to Arcane Mages. Some of the cool things that I have been doing, testing out, is that I have a glyphed mana gem that bumps up your number of charges to 10 instead of just the normal 3. And that's a glyph. You can buy the glyph and change that. I have greater invisibility, which is also a talent. I have Frostjaw, which is a silence and a freeze, and also a talent. And I guess Deep Freeze is also usable by Arcane Mages as a talent or a skill. You can choose Nether Tempest, which is kind of like an Arcane Living Bomb that attacks the targets around it. It's a talent. Ice Flows is another talent. It's kind of like the Shaman Spirit Walker's Grace and allows you to move and cast 2 spells. Temporal Shield, I guess it's for those times when a rogue has come up behind you and stunned you. Now there's also the thing about wands, which I'll get to that in a second. Arcane Mages have what are known as arcane charges, generated now by Arcane Blast and missiles, and they're consumed by Arcane Barrage. The level 87 spell for mages is called Alter Time, and there's also Pandaria Flying, which is called Wisdom of the 4 Winds, which is learnable at 90. The specialization screens at the moment, to me, aren't very descriptive or indicative of what kind of abilities that you get while leveling, just the core abilities of that specialization. And I'm going to switch the character over to Fire, and it resets all of my talents, which I don't know if that's a bug or what. This means I'll have to go back and put all the spells from the spellbook back on the action bar, which I hope they change that. It doesn't affect the glyphs that I had before. Anyway, in Fire Spec, a few things happen. Fire Blast becomes Inferno Blast, which spreads fire dots to nearby targets. Scorch is now a talent that can be picked up by any spec and can be cast while moving. Another trade-off I noticed is that the armor spells like Mage, Molten, and Frost Armor have a cast time, but no time limit anymore. Also, there's a definite visual difference between the patch of fire that Flame Strike leaves behind. However, they took out the instant cast aspect of it, which I like that. Used to run across battlegrounds and keep rogues away from me. Anyway, here's me pretending to be a frost mage. The other thing I wanted to point out was wands. While you retain the ability to shoot with a wand, there is no wand slot in the game anymore. What that means is wands are now a ranged man-hand weapon. You put it in your main hand slot, and you can click an enemy to attack and start shooting with your wand. You can still equip swords and staves and melee stuff if you want to, but when you are at range from an enemy and try to attack with a melee weapon, it will tell you that you need to have a wand equipped to do that. Another thing about the Blizzard power auras for fire, one of which is the Pyroblast power aura they have a little smaller version of it, I guess, that to tell you that you're getting ready to have a Pyroblast or something. I don't know. Some other glyphs that I thought were interesting were the Glyph of Ritual Refreshment. Now, how many times have you been in a battleground or something and wasted mats and not been able to conjure food because someone moves while casting a mage table? Well, now you don't need them anymore. You can just have a glyph. There's also Glyph of Rapid Teleportation, which gives you a boost of speed after teleporting or using Mage Portal. Okay. Glyph of Momentum, which I guess includes some more randomness in blinking. Critter Morph, which you can turn helpless critters into sheep, penguins, pigs, or monkeys for a day until, a predator comes along and eats them, like what's always happened to critters. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but I still have the Brilliant Mana Gem when I switch specs from Arcane to Fire. And I think it can still be used, I just can't conjure a regular Mana Gem. There's what Temporal Shield looks like. And a close-up of my mirror images with panda faces superimposed over them. There's other things in the achievement tab, like pet battles, and a deadly rabbit on Dark Moon Island, and getting exalted with Shadowpan will give you the title Avenger of Hyjal, that sort of thing. Anyway, that's all for now. If there's anything you want me to look at next, leave me some comments, subscribe, and thanks for watching.